Skirt Not Sound. This is Rodney G. I was looking at this little meter and it seemed like it's running a little high. So hopefully I'm not blowing y'all's eardrum out or sounding muffled. So I'm gonna put the microphone a little lower. So hopefully everything will work out today. Like I said, this is Scarred Not Silent. Rodney G here, and we've been talking about the old kidney transplant journey. And I know I left off at I don't know where I left off, but on the regular journey that I've been discussing was regarding the social Security disability and basically currently owing $10,000, which uh, if anybody's listening from Social Security disability, I don't know where you're going to get that $10,000 because I don't have it. I didn't have it then, but I needed to get on, I needed the money to sustain my life, basically, to keep it going. And as a result, it's, like I said, I don't even have a job still. So I, every time I had a little glimmer of getting a job, something happened, like multiple, uh, like fraudulent employment emails. I had a couple from CVS that I had applied for, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you've been selected for a online interview, or you've been hired," and I hadn't even interviewed anyone yet. And then the max money is, like without negotiations, the money would be like, "Oh, you got this much," and it would be like the maximum. And I'm like, "This is not right. This You got to buy your own computer." Uh, Software and then send in the money or send in the receipt for the refund and stuff like this. And then recently I got kind of um, a heads up that there was a position that was going to eventually open, and it did not. Well, it closed. It was open, but it closed. And I did all the work that, send that information in there, and nothing happened with that. And that was recently, within last month or so. So it's still like a task, right? And some of it might be that little bit of pride where, you could go and work um, in fast food or somewhere like if I walk a little bit, they had opened up some fast food areas. They have a hardware store, which probably won't work out for me because I'm not handy. I barely could read a ruler, let alone trying to tell somebody how to fix something in their home. So yeah, so that's been a little bit of a test in itself. And plus, I don't drive. Like you already know, I don't drive. And where I live at doesn't have any transportation, which was one of my fears of moving here in the first place. And it manifested to exactly what I had a fear of. Oh, so I got myself in a situation where Uber would be my transportation. So it's like all of these things was probably easier to struggle in San Diego because I had access to everything with public transportation and everything. It made it easier to get to different employment opportunities and such. But that's not where I'm at. I chose to, we chose to come out here. And so there's the story. So that's why I kind of been doing like a whole bunch of stuff. Um, the podcast, and be honest with you, need to I think I'm at the point now I need to monetize this. Obviously I'm not still not Joe Rogan's list anywhere soon, but you got to start somewhere. And just couple other things I have, wrote out. I got a couple books, as you know, they're on um, Amazon. So if you want to look those up, actually you can put Rodney G. Washington and the books will pop up, as well as the podcast will pop up as well. So you'll see those two books. Um, and then also have a kind of an ideal. I think I mentioned that for the fishing. Just trying to get the community people that like really want to go fishing, but they're intimidated to go fishing because they see somebody with some cowboy boots on and got their shirt tucked in with the big belt and they're spitting the chew and they got the hat on and they're just pulling out fish left and right with their fancy gear. And then somebody's like, I can't do that. I don't even want to put a worm on a hook. Well, so I kind of want to do like a little clinic, right? For beginners, real beginners, not people like, oh, I just want to jump on and see what you're doing. No, somebody that doesn't even have to tie the hook onto to the string. That was my passion, was fishing. And initially I wanted to be a game warden. Social worker was not my first choice. I wanted to be a game warden and work as the police for the animals or somewhere on the environmentalist type of line. Outdoors, environmentalist, possibly zoologist at one point. I thought about that. Biologist, marine biologist. Those were kind of the fields I was anticipating getting in until the math popped up. And I was like, I'm not going to be any ologist except get my ass out of this math classologist because I was struggling. And so I realized, okay, well, now I'm an expert in people. So I'll call myself an expert in people. Been around people, studied people, behaviors, and everything else in between for way over 20 something years now. So I'm an expert in people. And so that's you know, that's kind of them things that you kind of learn about yourself when you've been cut off of like assistance and what you're going to. And if it wasn't for my wife, we'd be in a bigger mess. Probably I was bringing some money in and, here and there. I had a quick life coaching practice. So we survived. And going into the new year, happy new year. We're in it now. And I had a thought of something when I had this cold. Well, it wasn't cold. I had the flu A. And I thought of something about how quick we revert back to our old ways. And the reason why I say that is because I got the flu, all honestly, is because I did not adhere to what the medical team had said to me since the beginning of my kidney transplant. Even with the mask on when I did dialysis, I think the immune system was still tough enough to fight off the different viruses and such. When I got the transplant, I was stuck on the immune suppressants, like many of you may be, and and yeah, so my immune system is low. I don't know how low. I don't know if they could determine like how low is low, but all I know is I'm more susceptible to getting illnesses. And as you know, it was 2019. I had the kidney transplant. You start to feel good. COVID is kind of a thing of a past a little bit. The flu has been the flu forever, and and you get a little lax sometimes. You're like, I don't really want to walk around with a mask on, and or you really truly forget and you just keep it moving. You're not trying to find a mask to put on. I don't even know uh, if they're available anymore like they used to be. You just could walk around the corner and somebody would have a mask there, or it'd be masks on the walls or whatever. And I did not wear mine, and I got sick with the flu. Luckily, it wasn't deadly, or even it wasn't even that bad where um, making me sick. I really just had a cough, a headache, and some phlegm. And I still have a cough and some phlegm, and I feel stuffy. But overall, and a little wheezy. Overall, I feel good though. I feel a lot better. But how quick did I resort back to trying to live what comes to me as my, well, what I want it to be was a more kind of normal life without worrying about putting on a mask. Something that's simple. And it's not even foreign really to wear a mask because if you go out, most of the time I see someone, at least one person, with a mask on. So it's not foreign now. It's not as like make you feel weird as it before COVID. And I think that's really like reminiscent of going into a new year where somebody may make a resolution every year and it takes several months before you resort back to your old habits. Um, so it was just a thought that I had. I was like, how quick we go back into our old habits. And our old habits, it makes sense because our old habits are comfortable. Like, I know when I wake up, if I don't want to go, because now we're talking about, 2026, and this is not even a resolution because I don't like doing New Year's resolutions, but to finally, get to the gym. We have a gym at our complex here, but it's so small. And I had went there one day and it was just like working out in this box that was kind of blah and, wasn't a whole lot of life in it. So it wasn't fun. And walking the neighborhood is okay, but still, I guess kind of repetitive. So we talked about going to the gym, but then that takes a mindset of making it to the gym every day too. And the gym's not far. Like if I want to walk, it's not far, but it's a decent walk to get to the gym. Um, and a nice little walk back, especially in the summertime. It will be not fun probably, but it's doable. It's somewhere I could get to since I don't drive. And but the reality of it is, it's much more comfortable to wake up, get my breakfast, uh, make my wife breakfast, and jump on the computer all day, or to jump on the computer half a day and watch TV the other half of the day, and clean the house and take the trash out and do everything but go to the gym. That's comfortable at this point. There was a point in my life where not going was uncomfortable. Probably since COVID, that was the last time I really worked out, which was in the house, and started making actually good gains with a kettlebell and some exercise straps. I haven't really worked out, so and it was intimidating because we went for a little tour at the gym with one of the mission people and looking around, and I'm just like, there's a lot of equipment, a lot of people. It was packed because everybody's getting to. I guess we have the snowbirds here, and some of the family are still here, and people are working out. Not to mention that the New Year's resolutions are kicking in. So it was a little intimidating to me because I know I'm gonna have to start from the beginning again, and some of the equipment has changed. So I'm gonna have to sit and read the signs, look lost, and try to find out my way around the gym. That whole process of being like the new kid in school again, like being a freshman or starting off from working out. One time I was like this big time weightlifter, and now I'm coming in as the chubby older guy who looks lost in the gym. And I probably even have some weird clothes on because I don't have real, like, what you consider gym clothes, short shoes, and maybe a shirt that rolls over my belly when I bench press. And then you focus on your belly hanging out instead of actually worrying about your workout. So this is gonna be a new mental, uh, like a mental shift for me. But you got to start it. I'm not getting any younger. I turned 50 on the 29th of December, and It's all downhill from here if you don't do something about it. So that's what the chef is resorting back to, is your comfort zone. That's what we all love, our comfort zone. And the same thing with the kidney disease. You'll get motivated when you get your kidney and you want to eat healthy and do all these things. And then as the time goes through, then you get more comfortable and you're like, oh, maybe I'll have a drink of wine. Maybe I'll have a beer. Um, Maybe I'll have that greasy chicken or whatever your lifestyle used to be. You'll start to slowly resort back to it, but you have to be mindful of the things that you cannot do anymore. Much like making a New Year's resolution. So I don't think I'm gonna have too many more of the shows left. I think I was winding down. I have to really sit down and map it out because in my head I was anticipating being done by the end of January. So I'm gonna take some time and just really kind of map out the main points, starting from the disability that is no longer a disability at that point, and just see if there's anything that was pertinent to help you out or to my growth or struggles or successes. Um, and then I think January will wind it up for this portion of uh, Scarred Not Silent. And then we'll just go to a different direction. I hope you stay with me on all my directions because really, I don't say the full title, but it's really the intersection of survival. And my survival comes in many different layers and types, and some that may not resonate with you, but still, I think it would be nice to hear just kind of somebody else's journey. And maybe you do have those journeys, or you'll find something um, maybe within yourself or somebody else. You go, well, I never had to deal with being called out of my race or my name, but maybe you have that cousin, or maybe you have that nephew where your sister kind of went out and found somebody that didn't normally was too much liked in the family and had a baby, and that way you could resonate. There's all kind of ways to resonate with somebody. So we'll see the directions, and I'll kind of give you the heads up about when the last episode will be and where we'll head it to. Like I said, I hope you stay with me. But until now, we're going to keep going ahead and moving forward with the story of the kidney journey. And like I said, next week I'll go ahead and we'll get started to see if we end up winding this up within the month or if it's going to be extended out a little further. I know we don't have too much more left though. Thank you for being here. Scared Not Silent. And if you wake up, you have a purpose.